Something hunts these mountains, shaped from myth. Formed by the spirit of the mountain man, he lives by the way he hunts. Born of the mountains, blood of the Indian, he survives by Hawken and longbow. He's alone, he's free, he's forged by the elements. Journey with the last of a breed, Sasquatch, Mountain Man. Here, the trail leads to the rivers of the past and the winds of time in the distant wilds of northern British Columbia. In these mountains lives the beast that walks like a man, the one the mountain man knew as Old Ephraim. For latter-day mountain man Laramy Sasquatch Miller, heir to the free trappers, Old Ephraim has proven as devilish as his name. So Sasquatch relies on all his time-honored skills to make sure he'll survive in this remote realm of the bear. Beaver meat will do more than carry him over until he's able to find bigger fare. Sasquatch's quest for the grizzly depends on his knowledge of its ways.
That's what these bears are eating. Soapberry. They're very bitter. Look here, you can see pretty fresh bear sign. It's just chock full of soapberries.
Along with knowledge, it takes speed and endurance to keep up with the grizzly, and more important, to get ahead of it to see if it's the trophy bear he's after.
It's only about 40 yards. It's a bow hunter's dream if it was a good boar. Too bad it's a sow.
The great silver-tipped bear prowls on, drawing Sasquatch after it in its wake.
Let's go do some hunting.
The challenge of the hunt for Laramy Miller lies in traditional gear and traditional ways, like making sure his powder's always dry.
Oh yeah. Part of old Mother Nature. Makes visibility a little tough.
One advantage of wet weather is the way the moisture softens the leaves and branches underfoot and camouflages the sound of Laramy moving through the brush. British Columbia has one of the most remarkable densities of grizzlies on the continent, numbering over 16,000. These are numbers like the mountain men knew. But no matter how dense the population, the bears still have plenty of territory to elude Sasquatch.
He had to have gotten way behind us because he stood up right there.
Once hundreds of thousands of grizzlies roamed from Alaska to Mexico, all the way to Hudson Bay. Fewer now, the species is still very healthy. However many bear there may be, Laramy will only settle for the right one.
Got a black bear up here.
The odyssey of the mountain man continues today in the tracks laid down by the grizzly. Laramy's Sasquatch Miller brings the traditional skills he's spent a lifetime learning to his quest for the silver-tipped bear.
Got a black bear up here. Wanted to get a real good look at the little cute guy, but it didn't work. I think he went nap time. His mama sent him to bed.
Like the mountain men before him, Laramy uses any means he has for finding food, especially if it saves a bullet and doesn't disturb the area with the sound of a shot.
You know, typically when you're trapping anywhere in the Rockies, you can expect to catch anything from pine marten to bobcat to mink to fisher cat, coon.
This is a body-gripping, instant-killing conibear trap.
You want to make like a tunnel so that when that animal gets at the base of this tree, smells your bait, it looks up there, it sees a pathway to the bait. Just like any of the trapping you're doing, you're trying to focus an animal to go in that spot, whether it be a snare, a beaver, you know, putting sticks in the ground so that it funnels it right to where your trap is. And that's all that's acting as, is a funnel. Well, this is a beaver that I trap, and beaver's great bait for just about anything. All the animals love it, just like me. You know how the mountain man used to wipe themselves? Just like this.
But please, don't squeeze the bushes. The days of bad weather are moving out. As the clouds roll away, there may at last be sunlight for spotting and hunting. At this distance, it may look like a full-grown boar bear.
As you can see, got another little young sow. Not something that we want to shoot. You don't ever want to shoot a sow. Pretty neat seeing lots of bears. Now we just need to see her boyfriend, or dad, or grandpa, or cousin. It don't matter to me. We're looking for a big boar. Won't settle for anything less.
With his Hawken rifle, Laramy's turned the clock and the odds back almost 2 centuries. Jedediah Strong Smith touched neither whiskey nor tobacco and studied his scriptures. Maybe that uprightness preserved him when a furious 600-pound grizzly tore away his scalp. Smith coolly instructed his fellow mountain man how to stitch the skin back on, leaving him with a wilderness badge of a lifelong scar from ear to ear. Now that savage blood runs in the veins of the grizzlies that Laramy hunts. But Laramy has no intention of letting a bear have his scalp. Over tundra, across streams, and through willows, the chase is on for Sasquatch and his hunting partner to try to get into range of this grizzly before it knows they're there and makes a dash for it or comes for them. The shadow of the mountain man lies on this land where the grizzly shambles. Hunter and trapper Laramy Sasquatch Miller has come in search of the great bear, testing his stamina and skill. As armed only with a primitive weapon, he works to get into position to make one true shot.
Got a really young sow down there. She's got some really cool markings. You can see the white. She's got like a white V on her chest.
Laramy's knowledge of the mountain men's ways isn't limited to hunting. Years of surviving off the land have taught him the secrets of making the kind of trap set that will bring him both fur and meat. Waiting for Laramy in his set is one of the mountain's grand prizes.
Look at that thing. Look at the teeth on that thing.
Surviving here means finding what the land has to give, as Jedediah Smith once did. After years of hardship and peril, Jedediah Smith retired from the fur trade, using his large profits to buy a farm and a fine St. Louis home with servants. But he had to answer just one last call to head west on the Santa Fe Trail. And there, he stumbled into a band of Comanche hunters. The Comanches attacked, and Smith killed one before they cut him down with their buffalo lances. 2 centuries later, the lives and deaths of the mountain men are still real for Laramy. With food from his traps, Laramy can build his strength and begin again the chase of the grizzly in the morning.
Got a bear spotted down here on the creek. Excitement.
Once more, for Laramy and his partner, it's a foot race to see if they can get into position on his bear before it leaves the territory. Another long chase for Sasquatch, and another bear to admire and let pass. When you know where to look, the mountain even has its own candy store.
That's old-timers bubble gum right here. I don't know about bubble gum, but it's gum. If you chew long enough, it'll turn into gum. You sit there and chew forever. All it is pine sap or spruce sap. I like it best if it's off a big ponderosa pine, but since there's not anywhere close, I guess this spruce sap will have to do. Pretty tasty. All it is turpentine. Good for you.
As good as it may be, what's truly good for you is the panoramic beauty of this far country. The old mountain men called these the Shining Mountains, and they bathed in their glow. For a man out of time, like Laramy Sasquatch Miller, born in a century never truly destined to be his own, you can understand the spirit of these shining mountains, and their wildness are a taproot growing down into his soul.
Grizzly been working up and down this riverbank. So I made me a little foxhole here. We'll lay here and wait and see if one doesn't come by tonight. We got a wolf kill out here and we just spotted a wolf on it. I'm gonna sit here and wait and see if he doesn't come out. If
he does, he's gonna be in a world of hurt. These wolves are some of the smartest critters on the planet. I mean, they're really skittish, really tough to harvest a wolf. I'm sitting here waiting for this wolf. But just spotted a grizzly up on the hill. I don't know exactly how big it is yet, if it's a boar or a sow. But if this wolf doesn't come out here quick, take a look and see if that's the big boar we've been watching in this area. I think we'll come back in the morning and see if we can figure out where they're at. It's all for the night, folks.
The big boy has to get his sleep, you know.
The hunter's moon. Now, the changing of the seasons. The fall air speaks of the coming winter, and the hunters feel the hand of time beginning to tighten around them, quickening their steps.
Spotted the big bear that's been playing Houdini with us here the last week. Up on top of this ridge. Got the wind pretty good. We're gonna try to sneak up below him a little bit.
Far northern British Columbia, a grizzly bear haven where Laramy is fulfilling his hunting and trapping destiny.
Look at that thing.
The moon rises on the last night of Laramy's hunt. In the dawn, with his Hawken rifle, Laramy treks the final miles to his meeting with Mr. Grizz.
Spotted the big bear that's been playing Houdini with us here the last week. Up on top of this ridge. Got the wind pretty good. We're gonna try to sneak up below him a little bit.
At close range, Laramy's Hawken will be enough if everything goes right. A bullet from a Hawken can hit with a ton of energy, but it has to hit in the right place. Wind in their faces, sun at their backs, the conditions are perfect to stalk up close.
He's gotta be around here somewhere.
Left by the grizzly only moments ago. Now he's there, a humped hillock of fur, teeth, and claws on the ridge.
Do you see the bear? I did.
It's down to one well-placed shot, and with the pull of the trigger comes disaster. It's a slow-motion nightmare as the rifle misfires. When it works, the hammer strikes the percussion cap and ignites the charge behind the bullet. But now the cap's improperly seated, or worked loose, or moisture's built up in the chamber, or even bad powder. With no time to reload, Laramy can only try a new percussion cap and hope for the best. .54 caliber bullet strikes home. Quick, reload.
Get it on him.
Crazy. That ain't a rush, there ain't nothing. It's been raining like a son of a gun here, though, trying to get this bear. No black powder. Pulled the trigger and went pop. The bear heard it and standing up looking, could have turned bad real quick. Dang. Climbed up down from the bottom about 1,000 foot up. Seen this bear up on top. Great stalk. Come in 40 yards, you can't ask nothing more. We've been hunting for these big grizzlies 5-6 days, non-stop. Gotten close a couple times. Just could never seal the deal. But we sealed it today.
This is the risk you take when you follow in the footsteps of the mountain men and carry a muzzle-loading black powder rifle. Facing old Ephraim, the crucible every mountain man had to endure, and which Laramy has, and lived, to tell the tale. Awe and fear, power and magic, all embodied in the grizzly. The bear the Lakota said, he comes from the north, he comes to fight. To hunt the bear, you have to be the bear, and carry in your heart the same strength and courage.